Okay, good afternoon. And that is the online tutorial of financial management. And today we'll look at the tutorial question of Unit 5 about valuing the stock. Okay, now we have several questions. The first one, asking to what are the difference between the common stock and preference stock. Okay, that will be the two kind of the stock of a company, but you should compare them by different factors. Okay, and preferably if you are the presentation group, I expected that you may construct a table and then to compare each of them with the concerning factors. That will be more clear and easy to remember. Okay, for the all the individual, you may answer in this way, and you may focus on each of the factors one by one, and then to compare and contrast among the difference between these two. Okay, for the first one, and we will focus on the dividend change, whether the dividend amount will be changed among these two. And you will find that for common stock, the dividend payment is not constant, and also that is not fixed. And that's why that can be increased or decreased, or even don't pay by the management decisions. Okay, and but for preference share, you will find that there is difference that is being fixed, and also the amount won't be changed, and that will be very similar to a bond, and that's why the concerning shareholder will receive the fixed amount of the dividend every year or every semi-annual, and that's why there is a difference between the two. Okay, second factor will be about uh, the voting right, whether they have the right in the company to vote for some important decision makings. And that is a great difference between that two. For the common stock holder, and they can vote for the important decision making. That means that they have the voting right. But for the preference shareholder, they doesn't have any voting right. Okay, that is the main difference between these two kind of the share. And then about the concerning company, if in case the company liquidate or bankrupts, about the sequence of get back their investment, and you will find that the common stockholder will be the last one, or the what we call the residual common, okay, the last one to get back their investment to the company. But for preference shareholder, is one level higher than the common stockholder. Okay, that is the main difference between them, between that. Okay. Other than that, one more thing is about the price of the share price. Okay, for the share price of the uh, common stock, and you will find that the share price are being affected by many factors. What are the factors that will affect the common stock share price? For example, that is about the company probability amount, profit amount. Other than that, the future growth prospect of the company, and other than that, uh, and also that will be affected by uh, the stock market situations, and also the economic situations, and that's why there will be some of the factors that will affect the common stock. Other than that, the common stock will also be affected by the market interest rate, but you will find that the preference share price will just affected by one and only one things, is the market interest rate, which is very similar to the bond. Okay, bond will just affected by the market interest rate, and that's why that is the main difference between the two. And if you discuss on that, and that will be more precise and tidy when you construct a table to illustrate the difference among these two. Okay, then the second one, and that is about the calculation of the preference share stock value. Okay, about a company, and this delinquent light company pay 3.55 annual dividends. If the required return of the preference stock is 6.7%, what is the value of this preference share? Okay, and that's why for preference stock, so simple. We can also apply the constant growth method, right? And that's why for the constant growth method, so simple. The constant growth is equal to 0. And because of that, you will make the formula quite simple. Okay, that's why we can adopt this formula, as we all know that the company will give 3.55 annual dividend. That's why that is D1 already. That means for year 1, and that will be given 3.55 at the year end, and that is D1. And because of that, we can make use of the this formula over I minus G, right? And but because the G is equal to 0, the growth rate is equal to 0, what left behind is D1 over I. Okay, that formula is quite simple, and because of that, we can substitute the amount 3.55 dividend over the discount rate, that is the 6.7%, and then the preference share should worth around 52.99. Okay. Okay, then 8.22, and that is about another company, Paychecks Industrial, recent paid 0.84 dividend, and the dividend is expected to grow at a 15% rate at the current stock price, $14.11. And what is the return stockholders are expecting? That is related to the expecting return model. Okay, because of that, first of all, we need to work out what is the D1 according to the equation. We need to use D1 to work it out, the percentage of the share. Okay, that's why the amount is 8.4, 0.844. Okay, now the dividend is expected to grow at a 15% rate, and because of that, the D1 will be equal to 0.966. And after we work out the D1, then we will substitute into the formula, and the D1 over the price is 40.11, and that will be the capital gain portion. Okay, and then the growth rate, that is 15%, right? Okay, that's why the overall total expected return of the shareholder of this share is 17.41%. That is the expectation. Okay, that's why if let's say one of the investor, when he analyzed the company and then find out that possibly this share will only give 15% return. That's why compared to this figure, is lower than this expected return, right? And because of that, that will be the possible outcome. And compared to expected return, because that is lower than the expected return, so simple. It is possible that the investor may not buy this share because that is lower than their expectation. But on the other hand, if let's say if the investor find out that it is possible that this share will give a 20% return, okay, and because of that, which is higher than their expectation, so sure that they will invest in this share, right? And then 8.23 about the dividend initiation and the stock value. Okay, assume that the company doesn't pay any dividend in before, but it is expected that this company will pay the first dividend per share in year 3. Okay, in year 3, in 3 years, that means in year 3, then you will pay $0.2, and the dividend will grow at an 11% infinitively, and using a 12% discount rate, compute the value of this stock. Okay, that's why for this one, we will make use of this information to work it back. will be the present value of the stock price. Okay, because of that, according to the information, the company will give dividend to 0.2 in year 3. Okay, that's why this figures is about the D3, right? D3. Okay, in order to work back to the present moment, first of all, we will make use of that to work back to the present moment in year 2. Okay, because of that, we can make use of the original formula, the constant growth model formula, and that was original is D3 over I minus G. You can work out the present value at year 2. Okay, because of that, we can make use of the information using the D3 0.2 over the discount rate minus the growth rate, and then the share in year 2 will be at the value of $20. But that's in year 2. What we want to find out is the present moment. That's why we need to further to discount this $20 share value back to the present moment. And because of that, we can further discount by the concerning rate to the power 2, and then the P0, that will be 15.94. That means at the present moment, this stock should worth at around 15.94. Okay, that will be the value. Okay, another one is in related to another model, that is the PE ratio model. PE ratio model, that is simple. We should make use of the simple ratio formula, that is the PE ratio equal to the market price over the earning per share, right? Okay, then if we want to find this market price, then we just swap to the other side, then we can work out the market price, right? Okay, now we look at the questions. And according to the question, about the company we send earning a profit 1.21 per share and have a PE ratio of 19.95 of 59, okay? And then the dividend have been grown at a 7.25%, okay, that is growth rate over the past 6 years. If the growth rate continue, what will be the stock price in year 5? In 5 years, if that's been in year 5, if the PE ratio remain unchanged. Now we want to work out the value in year 5 about this stock. Okay, then we can make use of the formula to work it out. First of all, we know about is the PE ratio currently is 19.59, right? Okay, that's why if we want to work out the market price, that will be equal to the PE ratio times the EPS. Okay. Okay, as we all know that this is long figures, 19.59, right? It's given. Okay, what is the difference between these figures? Is that currently in year 1 end, it gives $1.21 dividend. Okay, now we want to know about 6 years later, what will be the price value of the stock, the market price of the stock. Okay, because of that, we need to convert this earning per share to the year 6. And because of that, this is the year 1, and we want to work out the 6-year dividend value, and then we will times the constant growth rate to the power of 5, and then we can work out the stock price in year 6 will be at 33.64. Okay, the question also will have another part that will be asking you if the PE ratio increased to 22 rather than this 19.59, and then what will be the market price of the share. Okay, similar things, we just change the figures of the PE ratio, okay, and the same things, okay, and that will be equal to 37.77 should be higher. Okay, should be much higher. Okay, if we have a higher PE ratio, surely the price value of the stock should be higher. Okay, then another one, the last one. Oh, not the last one. And the other one is about the value of the future cash flow. Now this one basically is work out the basic stock value. Okay, basic stock value calculations. Okay, but looking at that, the firm recently paid a 0.6 annual dividend. The dividend is expected to increase by 12% in each year in the next 4 years. In the fourth year, the stock price is expected to be 110. If the required return for this stock is 14.5%, what is the current rate? The current value. Okay, and that's why the question given you is the figures that is in year 4, right? And also the question is asking you about the current value. And you need to work back to the present moment. What should it worth? What is the value of this share? And because of that, we need to discount all the dividend and also the year 4, the stock price back to the present moment. Okay, that's why we will discount each of that one by one according to the basic valuation model. Okay, and for the first one, that is first of all we need to work out what will be the dividend in year 1. Okay, because that is the D0, because just paid, that is D0. Okay, but we want to find out the D1, and because of that we will be required to compound the interest 12%. Okay, that's why 0.6 times 1 plus 12%, D1 0.672. D2, similar things, we will make use of D1 times 1 plus 12%. Then D3, same, using D2 dividend times 1 plus 12%, and so on. Okay, finally, we can work out the 4th year dividend figures. And then, what we want to find out is the present moment, how it works. And because in year 4, the share price is at $110. Because of that, according to that, we need to discount each of that one by one. And the last year, including the principal, the $110 will be discount also. Okay, because of that, we will discount each of that one by one. Okay, the first year dividend discounted by the discount rate, the required rate. And then the second year, same, divided by this one, same figures to the power 2. Year 3, same figure, year 3. Okay, and then the last year, that will be the dividend, that will be the price, share price in year 4, and then discount by the discount rate to the power 4. And then finally, we can work out at the present moment, the stock value will be just at 66.27. 66.27, but compared to 4 years later, that will be worth at around 110. Okay, but no matter how, we want to know about how much it's worth at the present moment. That's why that is supposed to work out the figure by the basic valuation method. Okay, that will be the last question. Okay, the last question is about the variable growth rate model. And the company experienced 2 different stages of the growth. And the first stage of the growth is a fast growth rate period. And then the second one is the stable growth rate period. And because of that, we can adopt the formula. Okay, this formula to work out the figures. And this part is the termination value. Okay, and you may separately work out this part. And this amount, okay, will be equal to what? Equal to 72.266. Okay, and then substitute all that into the formula. Then we can work out the first one. This one will be equal to 0.444, and then second one 0.494, third one 0.549, and the last part, okay, whole amount of this, that will be equal to 45.725. Okay, and then we can work out the figures. That will be 47.21. Okay, that will be the stock value finally. Okay, and the formula is quite complicated. No matter how, and but it is you need to know about this scenario or this model. Okay, that is one of the way to estimate the value of the stock. Okay, because for that will be most suitable for the fast-growing newly established company compared to those well-established and large company, and most often we will adopt this variable growth rate model. You may discuss on this model before you uh, work on the answer, especially for the presentation group. Okay, for the presentation group, you should discuss on this model first and how it is being developed, and what is the basic conceptual framework in related to this model, and then compared to the constant growth model, and what are the main difference. Okay, and then finally you work out the answers. Okay, and that will be the last question. For this one, if you have any question, you may ask me in the chat room.